Hey guys, I finished reading Little Bird and I can't wait to tell you all about it. Coming up next. What's up, comic book fans? It's me, Stephanie, and I'm coming here to bring you my review of Little Bird all by myself. It's my first video I'm doing with you guys. I don't know if you watched our last video. If you did, you would have seen that I read the first issue of Little Bird and I loved it. So I decided to finish reading the whole run, and now I'm back to tell you guys all about it. Little Bird was written by Darcy Van Poelgeest, and the art is by Ian Bettram. It is a 5-issue run, and guys, it is amazing. That's the most I can say about it. In one nutshell, I'm of course going to explain more, but an amazing book. It was the first book that I read from beginning to end that wasn't a superhero book. And I'm really glad that I chose this one. It was really great. And I can't wait to tell you guys all about it. So Little Bird takes place in a post-apocalyptic world based in the future. I want to say aliens. They have weirdly drawn characters, almost like maybe they have a disease or something's wrong with them, but it's definitely not all human beings. The whole story takes place in Canada. It is based on a war that took place between the main villain, who is the bishop, and he is trying to force Christianity upon everyone in the world, and it's about the rebellion and him fighting together. The first issue, which we touched on briefly, Little Bird issue number 1, kind of gives you an intro into Little Bird. I want to try not to give you guys too many spoilers in this review because I really love the book and I really want you guys to read it. So I'm going to kind of give you just a short synopsis of each book and then kind of wrap it up at the end and tell you how I felt about the whole series, and then hopefully you guys pick it up and you read it. So the first book kind of introduces you into Little Bird and her mom. They kind of start off with the mom and Little Bird. They kind of make it very vague so you don't exactly know what's going on at first. They then switch to the bishop story. They give you a little bit of an explanation about him and into the war that is going on between the Christians and the rebels. You learn a little bit about Little Bird's fighting skills, and you're introduced to the Axe, who is one of the main characters within the book that you learn more about later. They don't give you too much of a backstory on Axe. They start to give you a little bit of a backstory on Axe, but Little Bird does think he's invincible. She thinks that's the whole reason she has to, that's going to save the rebellion. So that's how they wrap up, or what takes place in the first book. The second book, check out that amazing artwork, guys, kind of gives you a little bit into the world that Little Bird lives in. They kind of hint that she might have some superpowers. You find out more about that. They also go more into the mom's whole story. They tell you more about her past and kind of where she came from. And you get to meet the bishop's son, Gabriel, who ends up being a very big part of the story as well. In the third issue, the third chapter, they call them chapters, they kind of give you more of an intro into this world that Little Bird discovers. Throughout the book, the mom keeps saying, hope still exists, hope still exists. They kind of explain that more in this book. I know in my last review I told you guys that Little Bird kind of starts off the book saying, you know, this is her story and how her mom and dad tried to kill her. So you do find out more about that in this book. Little Bird becomes way more of a badass in this book. She starts kicking way more butt. You get to see really her fighting skills, what she's made of, and I'm sorry, I'm just reading my notes. And you learn a little bit more about Gabriel's past. And there's kind of a twist that you find out in that book that really gets you wanting to read the next book, which leads us up to chapter 4. Guys, look at that. Crazy. So chapter 4, you learn more about the Resistance, what the Resistance really is, what the Holy War has done to the people that are still surviving, the people who are still fighting for the Holy War, kind of that whole story. You learn a lot more about Little Bird's backstory, and you also see Little Bird kind of gain confidence. This is kind of the issue where she's like reached her point. She's had enough, and she becomes more confident in what she's fighting for and confident in her abilities, and she of course then becomes more badass, which is awesome. The next and final book, guys, also awesome artwork. You get to find out that Little Bird gets a little bit of a chance at revenge. There's a major fight scene. Little Bird is awesome. She kicks so much butt. She's got like a sash full of knives and she throws them and slicing people down, and it's amazing. It's amazing. There's an epic fight scene. And then they kind of wrap the whole story up. They do give you more about Axe's backstory. That's kind of like tying it all in at the end, bringing it all together, and ending the book like that. I was pretty happy with the way the book ended. I know that all books have to come to an end. I'm disappointed that it was over, but I did enjoy the ending. So I was very happy with the whole series, chapter, run, whatever the comic book term is, reading Little Bird. Like I said, I don't want to give you guys a ton of plot points and information about the book because it was such a good book and I want you guys to read it. I want you to pick it up. I do want to tell you that the storytelling was brilliant. It was amazing the way that they told the stories. They started so many storylines, different storylines, and intertwined them throughout the story. By the end of the story, they all connect. It's like you get to have that aha moment where you're like, oh my God, this is why this happened. That's why they did this. And they tie it all together very nicely at the end. They don't leave you wanting more. All the storylines are finished. They're wrapped up. It's just a great book, guys. A great introduction to comics. If you guys have never read a comic book, if you've never thought about reading a comic book, I mean, it's definitely not what I ever thought a comic book would be. If someone were to tell me that this was a comic book, if I just heard the story, I wouldn't believe it. I would think that it was a novel, it was a book that you read. It is very surprising to me, so I'm very glad that Bruce pushed me into reading these books, and not really pushed me, encouraged me to read these books. I really enjoy them. So I hope that you guys really enjoyed hearing all about them and that you will go out and pick this book up. I'm going to keep this a very nice and short video for you guys. You know what to do if you enjoyed watching the video. You gotta smash that like button. You also have to subscribe so you can get updates on anything we do within the channel. We are doing a lot of new social media things, a lot of things that are gonna be changing and going on in the channel, some new videos we got coming out, some new ideas we have for new things we wanna do for videos. We might start streaming live videos soon. We got a lot going on, guys. So you guys want to be notified, make sure your notification bell is turned on, and make sure that you follow us on all of our social media, which Bruce will so kindly put along the bottom of this video. Thank you guys very much for listening to what I have to say. I hope that maybe someone out there will pick it up. Let me know what you think about it if you did read it. If I encourage you to read it, please let me know in the comments below. Thanks, guys. Peace.